Hi guys and welcome to a new video on this channel. This video is somewhat different because most people that see this probably gotten this because I'm making a mock election. In this mock election I was interested how Americans would react if they suddenly had more political options, and therefore I'm doing an election with far more political parties. This will be the video form of the party summaries, and I'm going to present each of them in this video. I decided to leave all of them nameless, and where they actually have party colors I've decided to only use black and white in this video, so this can be as neutral as possible. If you are voting, it might make first sense to look at the survey, because they have clarified some of the terms I'm using in this video, and some parties might focus more on some issues than others, but because this is a summary I'm not going to talk about every issue at every party. I rely a bit on your common sense. The left-wing parties will be more in favor of immigration, while the right-wing parties will be more in favor of tax cuts. I would also first listen to every party summary, because even if you like one party there might be more than one good party for you, and you might decide on a later party in this list. Also, there are parties from the center to the far right and far left. Obviously, I don't personally support all these parties. I just wanted to make this as realistic as possible. All parties here are completely made up. Some may have history, but I've also made that up. However, the parties are all inspired by European parties, because Europe in general has more political parties. And I think that's everything important. Let's start with party number 1. Party number 1. Originating as a Christian movement, this party is now a modern center-right party. It is moderately conservative on social and moral issues. However, it supports a moderate welfare state. It is in support of a market economy, but wants to create checks and balances to ensure fair competition. It also opposes the death penalty. While the party has opposed gay marriage in the past, now many members support it. This is because they believe the institution of marriage is strengthened this way. Party number 2. This is an economically liberal party. It wants to abolish regulations on the market. It is a supporter of free trade and lowering taxes. On social issues, the party is generally progressive. It supports liberal ideas such as the reforming of the current drug policy, LGBT rights, and is against the death penalty. But some members of the party are critical of immigration. It supports gun rights. Party number 3. Splitting from a more moderate party, this is a left-wing democratic socialist party. It supports expanding the welfare state and is for higher taxes, especially for the wealthy people. It is also built on environmentalist ideals, frequently advocating for green ideas. Feminism is also important to the party, as well as opposition to capital punishment. It is for major investments into the public education system and is for more government intervention in the economy. Party number 4. Being formed a long time ago as an alliance of farmers, this party today is in the very center of the political spectrum. It is somewhat liberal on social issues and considers itself as an advocate for decentralization. The party has both a protectionist and a free trade wing, and has generally been in support of the private usage of guns. In the past it has been very opposed to communism, but is open to work with moderate left-leaning parties, as well as conservative ones. The party is in favor of a welfare state. Party number 5. This party is very socially progressive and one of the main voices on environmental issues. It has worked with the Fridays for Future movement. It also has worked with LGBT groups for a long time, wants to liberalize the current drug policy, and is against the death penalty. On economic issues, the position of the party is less clear. Generally considered centre-left, some policies are more market-friendly than other traditional left-wing parties. It advocates for police reform and wants to introduce stronger gun regulations. Party number 6. When speaking about centre-left politics, this party can't be overlooked, as it has been the main supporter of labor rights for a long time. It is considered the main centre-left party and described as social democratic. Having advocated for centrist third-rail politics, the party has come back to its roots, supporting a strong welfare state. Today it also opposes capital punishment and wants to invest in the public education system. The party is liberal on social issues. It is in support of a fair distribution of income and wants to protect the poor. Party number 7. This party is very controversial in the current political climate. It is a populist and conservative party. Members have criticized illegal immigration and want stronger protection of the southern border. It has been critical of the Black Lives Matter and Fridays for Future movements. They also oppose any forms of affirmative action. Recently they have been against the teaching of critical race theory. It can be considered socially conservative and economically liberal, as it believes the welfare state has led people to become lazy. It is however supportive of expanding the American army, is very pro-gun, and brands itself as nationalist. The party is described as far right by some. Party number 8. 1968 was the year for worldwide student protests. The result of this was the formation of several left-wing, pacifist and socialist parties that would finally merge in the late 80s. The party is anti-capitalist, democratic socialist and pacifist. It is seen as very progressive on social issues. It wants a major tax increase for the wealthy. It advocates for worker-controlled firms and is pro-gun. They believe that the destruction of nature and racism are tied to the capitalist system. The party opposes NATO and is described as far left by some. They want to either reform or abolish the police. Party number 9. This is another party that focuses on environmental issues. Unlike other green parties, however, it also believes in the protection of families and advocates for local and regional work. Generally, the party is described as green conservative. However, the party is moderate in its social positions, being mostly in favor of gay marriage by opposing late-term abortion and euthanasia. It opposes the death penalty. Party number 10. This option has gained popularity in recent years. It is a party that advocates for the rights of the elderly, such as protecting pensions and lowering the retirement age. It also wants to invest in both health and disease research. It supports the welfare state and has no clear position on social issues. Party number 11. This party combines social and economic liberal ideas. It is strongly feminist and opposed to capital punishment. While broadly left-leaning, this party is closer to the center, and is open to work with both central-left and central-right voices. It wants to reform current welfare programs and lower taxes. The party was an early advocate for globalism and free trade. Party number 12. This party mainly focuses on internet issues. It advocates for copyright reform and is socially liberal. It supports the right to information privacy and is for more transparency in government, and opposes capital punishment. It is one of the biggest opponents of government regulations such as upload filters. On other issues, the party is considered liberal to social democratic. Party number 13. This is a communist party. They are in support of currently existing socialist states such as China and North Korea. They want all major industries to be controlled by the state, and the party focuses on economic issues. They believe a workers' revolution is necessary to free the working class. It is described as far left. Party number 14. In the early 1900s, trade unions decided it made sense to form a party advocating for the interests of the labor movement. The party still focuses on economic issues. It can be considered left-wing, in support of workers' rights and a strong welfare state. Unlike other left-wing parties, social issues only have a secondary role in the advocacy of this party. In recent times, this has led to clashes between some more socially progressive and conservative members, but the party is generally against the death penalty. Party number 15. This is a libertarian party. It is libertarian on both social and economic issues. Ideologies in the party reach from classical white libertarianism to anarcho-capitalism. It wants to drastically cut taxes and the abolishment of social programs. It is also opposed to the death penalty. It believes that the government should not be allowed to have any intervention in the market, as it believes the invisible hand of the market will regulate the market itself. It is opposed to gun regulations. Party number 16. This party sees itself as the only true patriotic force in the current political system. It wants to reverse a process described by them as cultural decadence. It is opposed to any form of LGBT advocacy, as well as the existence of people belonging to those groups. In the past, they have also questioned the power of Jewish groups in society. If it shouldn't already be obvious, this party is a neo-fascist and neo-Nazist party. It is described as far-right. Party number 17. Believing religious rights are an attack in current society, this party wants to protect religious schools. It is staunchly conservative on social issues. It supports conversion therapy and is against same-sex marriage. Members of the party believe that many problems in society are caused by the increase in support of the atheist movement. Party number 18. In the last decades, more and more voters have felt annihilated by the current options. A millionaire therefore has formed a new movement which refuses to be considered left or right. Targeting young voters, it has brought universal basic income on the national level. It also wants to promote usage of technical gear such as laptops in schools. Supporters want to increase direct democracy. On other issues, it currently has no official stance. However, the leaders criticize bureaucracy in government and some of the current social programs. Party number 19. Another critic of social movements like Black Lives Matter and Fridays for Future, this party believes that immigration has hurt the American working class. It wants to protect American families by fighting against illegal immigration. The party advocates for increased spending in the education system, while being critical of sexual education at a young age. It brands itself as an opponent of political correctness and is considered a populist party. Sometimes they are described as far-right. Contrary to other right-leaning parties, they support a welfare state. Party number 20. This party, unlike many others, has a more international program. It has the goal to overcome the capitalist system with realistic ideas and to replace it with a more equal system. It supports worker-owned corporations and is an opponent of wars. On social issues, this party is strongly progressive, not committing to a specific social ideology. It has a philosophy that humans should be able to live as free as possible, as long as they don't take freedom from others, and is therefore opposed to a death penalty. It has been critical of the police, wanting to evolve a major reform or replace it with an entirely new system. The party specifically opposed nationalism, instead supporting other like-minded parties in other countries. They have been described as socialist, libertarian, feminist and environmentalist. Party number 21. In the early 2000s, animal rights activists decided to form a new party based on animal issues. While being a green party, it mainly concentrates on animals and not the environment. They want to amend the constitution to guarantee animal rights, such as the protection from physical and psychological damage. It wants to ban circus animals, animal testing and hunting. Party number 22. This party has branded itself as another voice for conservatives. It is somewhat moderate in its advocacy. It concentrates on preserving the free market economy. However, it believes in environmentalist advocacy and wants to decentralize the government. More of a Big Ten party, it unites more moderate and conservative voices. Members have come out both in support of cultural diversity and the protection of American history. I am finally done with every party, and before this video ends I want to say something. This mock election or social experiment was actually a lot of work, so it would be cool if you would chat with some people, maybe your Biden supporting parents, your classmate that calls himself a centrist, or your MAGA hat wearing aunt. If I should get like 10 or 20 responses or more, I will probably do a follow-up video, and I will do a video about what each of the parties' names were about. But I think that's everything I can say. I think you can safely vote now, and bye!